Hello everyone, and welcome to another Wild Edibles episode, where today we'll be taking another look at a plant that I've shown you guys before, and that plant is garlic mustard. So it's a bit later in the season, about mid-August, and as you can see, these first-year garlic mustard plants have gotten eaten up. That's what happens when you have a plant that's this edible. The insects go for it. You will find a couple of pristine leaves, but for the most part, plants that are this nutritious, this delicious, and this edible get eaten by something else before you can get to them. But where are the second-year plants, you might ask? Well, they've finished flowering and seeding, and now they're nothing more than dried husks with the seeds inside. Now, if you can actually look a little closer, you see those blackish, brownish little specks? Those are mustard seeds. Now, even the slightest agitation will cause the seeds to fall out of the husk. This could either be wind or rain, or, in this case, me actually touching the seed pod. And they do have a tendency to fall through your fingers. So if you're going to collect a bunch, I'd suggest getting a bowl or something. They are quite small, and it's really not a good idea to let that many get onto the ground because, as I talked about before in the earlier garlic mustard video, this plant is invasive, so spreading its seeds is not something you want to do. Now, while the plant looks dead and unappetizing, the seeds inside are very much alive, and they are quite nice. Again, these are basically mustard seeds, but what's interesting is that they have a very spicy horseradish-like flavor. Now, as far as I know, you can use these to make mustard, although it's not going to be the exact same as one you'd buy at the store. Okay, now it's time for me to try some and tell you guys how it tastes. Alright, so I have 3 seeds right in here. That's going to be more than enough. They are quite powerful. And let's say I'd give it a try, shall we? Alright, so it does have a very characteristic horseradish-like flavor. It's not quite as hot as freshly prepared horseradish would be, but it's close. The dead husks of the garlic mustard plant also serve a very important survival use. They can be used as a fire-starting material when other materials are scarce. You see, when standing up like this, they don't get as wet when it rains. So, as compared to material that is on the ground, that will get wet, that will get soaked, but this material will dry much faster, even if it does get wet. So in that way, it could also potentially save your life, maybe not as a food source, but as fire starter, and fire is one of the most important things in a survival situation. Other plants, such as goldenrod and many reeds, will also do this. They will stay as dead husks above the ground for you to use as fire starter. However, garlic mustard is the first plant to do this in a given season. So if those plants are not available for that purpose, then garlic mustard is your best bet. Well, I hope you all learned something. See ya.